My name is Joe Saul, Ke'oni Ha'aheo Okalani Malaikini. I'm originally from Hana, Maui. I also grew up in Makakilo, but professionally I was known as DJ Odyssey and more recently known as Joseph Soul from my time on The Voice.
Team Gwen's Joseph Soul gave an emotional performance.
I knew pretty early on that I wanted to be in music and entertainment. I remember a story from when I was about 2 years old. I was the ring bearer at my parents' wedding, and as I'm walking down the aisle, instead of walking straight to them, I walked straight to my grandfather who was playing, the music for us. And from then on, everybody kind of saw my affinity towards music. And then when I was around 9 or 10 years old, I started singing and playing the ukulele, and I started to get into instruments like the drums, and then eventually I fell in love with DJing. And when I was around 10 years old, I met my current best friend to this day and his family, and they owned a mobile DJing company. And so they took me and my best friend under their wing and taught us how to DJ. And by the time we were 13 and 14 years old, we're DJing parties by ourselves, and then it became my passion. I was so addicted to manipulating music and making people dance and have a good time. I really wanted to take my craft to the next level. So I sought out the help of Cutmaster Spaz and the Universal DJ School, and I was blessed that he took me under his wing and got me gigs like car shows and nightclubs, and even had me spin for the Wheels of Steel tour at Sack and Save and stuff. And so that is pretty much my start. But the funny thing is, it has nothing to do with my time on The Voice, which I feel like is pretty ironic. But music in general has always been my passion. Early on, I fell in love with the turntables, and I was able to have some success with it, so I ran with it early on. But singing and playing instruments, I was passionate about it just as much as DJing, but you kind of got to go with what is working at the time. If you love everything equally, well, but this one is, you have more gigs doing this, well, that's okay, we're gonna do that for now. And yeah, eventually I realized that my passion for singing could potentially take me to the stages that I wanted to be on. And so I just kept at it and really focused and worked on my craft, and thankfully it led me to The Voice, There were many roadblocks that I faced throughout my journey, and a lot of people that would tell me that, I'm too young for this, this is not a career, you need to go to college and stuff like that. And I am a firm believer of post-high school education. I definitely recommend it, to everybody, but I had already started my career before I graduated high school, and so for me, I was working and I was making money, and I knew this is what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. And I consider myself lucky in a sense by having that, that early on. But basically for me, it was just being too young to do a gig because I couldn't get into a nightclub, or just people not believing in me before they gave me a chance because I was too young. And that was probably the earliest roadblock I faced. But other than that, it really is people not believing in you, and the people that hold the key to the door that you're trying to open not believing in you. That's the biggest one that will probably hold you back in life. And ultimately, the only way you're going to get that door open is if you keep poking and prodding and get that key, and that's, I think, why I was able to achieve something like my time on The Voice at such a late point, in my career, 20 plus years into pursuing this music career. I get blessed with an opportunity like that. So I think ultimately it's if I do have a message for the Crusader boys, it's to you can't give up. You have to keep pushing it. If you really want to achieve something and you believe enough that that's what you want, you have to go for it. Obviously, there are things in life that some people aren't meant to achieve, and that's not up to us. But if it's meant to be, then it'll be, you know. But if it's meant to be and you don't put the work in, it'll never happen. But if you put the work in and it's meant to be, you'll achieve all of your dreams. And that's kind of, you know, how I was able to get through those roadblocks. Something that I think could help you get past those roadblocks and get past, you know, maybe not having the validation from others in your life is to, this might sound weird, but lower your expectations and change your I don't want to say lower your expectations, but adjust your expectations to something that you can achieve, where you can reward yourself frequently instead of setting a huge goal that is like climbing Mount Everest to achieve. Set little baby goals that are little wins here and there, because little wins add up. I mean, if you're trying to get a 10, well, 10 ones, you know, equals 10. So if you get 10 little 1 wins, you'll get your 10. That's probably the biggest thing that I could advise, you know, the Crusader boys here. And it's just to never give up, really. That's pretty much it, you know. Just never give up and celebrate the little wins, because they are, a win is a win, whether it's a big win or a small win. I want to thank you, Crusaders, for having me. It really was my pleasure to be here with you. If I was able to give you any nuggets of info or inspiration, it really is my pleasure. Thank you to Mr. Bulatao for having me. And just remember, guys, fall in love with the process. And if that requires change, then don't be afraid to make some change in your life. Take care. Aloha.